This is how long you'll survive on this mystery planet, but before we get to that, let's see how long you'll survive on the rest of the planets. Starting with Earth, our lovely blue marble. Here, you're likely to survive forever unless you forget to look both ways before crossing the street or challenge a hippo to a duel. Fun fact, hippos are responsible for more human deaths in Africa than lions. But seriously, Earth has it all. Breathable air, liquid water, and temperatures that don't immediately turn you into a popsicle or a roast. Enjoy it while you can, folks. And let's not forget about the amazing biodiversity, from the cute koalas in Australia to the terrifyingly giant squids lurking in the deep sea. Earth is the ultimate vacation spot. Mars, the red planet. If you land on Mars without a spacesuit, you'd have about 2 minutes. Yep, 120 seconds to enjoy the Martian scenery before you suffocate in its CO2-rich atmosphere. Fun fact, Mars has the tallest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, which is about 13.6 miles high. Too bad you won't live long enough to climb it, and let's not forget those dust storms that can cover the entire planet for months. It's like living in a perpetual sandstorm. Talk about exfoliation. And did you know Mars has seasons just like Earth, except they're twice as long because a Martian year is about 687 Earth days. So you could experience a really long winter without the cozy fireplaces. If you think this is bad, then you're probably not ready for what the other planets have in store for you. Venus. Ah, the goddess of love. But don't get too excited. Venus is a total hellscape with surface temperatures around 900 degrees Fahrenheit and an atmosphere that's 96% carbon dioxide. You'd last less than a second. Venus. Come for the acid rain. Stay for the instant incineration. And the atmospheric pressure? It's like being 3,000 feet underwater. So unless you're secretly Aquaman, Venus is a no-go. And don't even think about sending postcards. They disintegrate faster than you can say, "Did someone order a sauna?" Venus also rotates in the opposite direction of most planets, so the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. But who cares about sunsets when you're being vaporized, right? Mercury is a planet of extremes. On the side facing the sun, it's hotter than an oven at 800 degrees Fahrenheit. On the dark side, it's colder than your ex's heart at minus 330 degrees. No atmosphere to speak of, so without a suit, you're toast in seconds. Literally. And if you somehow manage to stay at the Terminator line, where the day and night sides meet, you'd still be in for a rough time. No atmosphere means no protection from meteors. It's like playing dodgeball with flaming rocks. Who's up for that? Mercury also has a very weird day-night cycle. One day on Mercury is equivalent to 59 Earth days, but a year on Mercury is just 88 Earth days. So you'd get to experience 2 sunrises in 1 year. How's that for confusing? Jupiter, the big gas giant. There's no solid ground, so you'd fall into endless clouds of hydrogen and helium. Gravity would crush you faster than a bad date's awkward silence. Survival time? A few seconds if you're lucky. Oh, and did I mention the radiation? Jupiter's magnetic field traps a ton of radiation. So even if you somehow avoid being crushed, you get a lethal dose of radiation in just a few minutes. It's like standing in front of the world's most powerful microwave without the benefit of popcorn. And let's talk about Jupiter's Great Red Spot, a giant storm that's been raging for at least 400 years. Imagine being caught in a hurricane that never ends. Not my idea of a vacation. Hey there, if you are enjoying the video so far and think you could definitely survive on one planet, at least then hit the subscribe button and drop a like. Back to the madness. Saturn with its beautiful rings, but don't let its looks deceive you. Saturn's also a gas giant. You'd face similar problems as Jupiter. No ground and extreme pressure. Plus, those rings, they're mostly ice and rock that could smack you at 45,000 miles per hour. You'd be space dust in seconds. And let's not forget Saturn's moons. Titan, for instance, has lakes of liquid methane. So if you fancy a swim, make sure you're fireproof. The methane lakes are more like lakes of instant doom. Saturn's day is also super short, just about 10.7 hours. So if you're a workaholic, Saturn might be the place for you. Just kidding, you'd still be vaporized instantly. Uranus? Yes, it's pronounced your anus. Get it out of your system. You'd last just a few seconds here too. Its atmosphere is full of hydrogen, helium, and methane, so it's like being stuck in a fart cloud that freezes you to death. Charming, right? And if you're into roller coasters, Uranus has you covered with its 98-degree axial tilt. This means extreme seasonal changes. One pole gets 42 years of sunlight, then 42 years of darkness. Talk about mood swings. Also, did you know Uranus has faint rings too? They're not as spectacular as Saturn's, but hey, they're there. It's like Uranus is trying to copy Saturn's style, but failing miserably. Neptune, the windy one. Winds here can reach up to 1,200 miles per hour. That's faster than a jet plane. It's another gas giant, so you'd be whipped around like a rag doll before the freezing temperatures and pressure end your adventure in seconds. Talk about a wild ride. And let's not forget its moon, Triton. Triton has geysers that shoot out nitrogen gas. So if the planet itself doesn't get you, the geysers might just give you a chilly surprise. Imagine being caught in a nitrogen slushy machine gone berserk. Neptune also has a great dark spot, similar to Jupiter's great red spot. It's a storm that's about the size of Earth. So if you ever wanted to experience a never-ending storm, Neptune's the place for you. Don't run away yet, as there might be a possibility of you surviving on this mystery planet. And just for kicks, let's talk about Pluto. I know, it's not a planet anymore, but hey, it's still out there. Pluto's surface temperature is a cozy minus 375 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd freeze solid before you could say, but I thought Pluto was a planet. And Pluto has a heart-shaped glacier, which is adorable, but also misleading. That heart is colder than any romantic rejection. Plus, a year on Pluto is 248 Earth years, so you'd be freezing for a long time. Pluto also has 5 moons, with Charon being the largest. Charon is so big that Pluto and Charon are often considered a double dwarf planet system. Double the trouble, double the fun. Finally, the mystery planet. Drumroll please. It's the moon. I know. It's not what you were expecting, but you can't lie to me that you have never wondered how long you could survive on the moon. Well, with no atmosphere, you'd survive a few seconds in the vacuum of space before your blood boils and your body explodes from decompression. It's like the worst sunburn and frostbite combo ever. And those beautiful lunar landscapes, they come with deadly radiation from the sun and micrometeoroids zipping by at insane speeds. One small step for man, one giant leap for, oh no, my suit's torn. But if you're a history buff, the moon is your place. You could visit the Apollo landing sites and the American flags, which are probably bleached white by now. Just make sure you bring a really good spacesuit. So, there you have it, folks. Now click on this video to see if you would survive any of these deadly human experiments.